Found at the juncture of the Florida Panhandle and Peninsula, Tallahassee sits along Interstate 10, right at the crossing of Highway 319. It's about 160 miles west of Jacksonville in an area described as the Big Bend. The markings of Tallahassee's early history are everywhere. Our crew set out to find them with Linda Maynard, owner of Historic Tallahassee Tours. Our search started in front of Tallahassee's City Hall in a square that's appropriately named Rascals Yard.
This was a place of Wild West where there were duels, there were gossips, there was the pillory and the town market, and where they slaughtered beef and everybody came to gather to find out the gossip of the day. Galleys Opera House is right across the street, and downstairs Mr. Galley had his market, and upstairs where the original brick structure, which we can see today, was a beautiful theater. They said there was only two things to do in Tallahassee at that time. One was to go to Galleys Opera House, and two, to go to church. This is Adams Street Commons, and a lot of people who come to visit Tallahassee, they say, "Where's your skyscrapers? You're a big capital city." But back in the 1830s, these buildings, they had a huge fire, and it wiped out 9 city blocks in less than an hour. And they had a city ordinance, and they said no more. Buildings could only be built 2 or 3 stories tall, and then also made of brick. And so what we see here are the original buildings still from 1830s. And that ordinance kept going even to now. We only have 3 skyscrapers in Tallahassee. One's the Capitol, 22 stories, the new one, and then 2 others that kind of snuck through the last couple years. But basically it has remained the same ever since.
Walking down the center of the street, which Linda assures us is a very Tallahassean thing to do, we can see Florida State University at the top of the hill. The school used to be a women's college.
This is the old city cemetery. This is the site of one of our battles that we have in the small graves over there, Confederate soldiers. Tallahasseans have great pride that Tallahassee was the only capital east of the Mississippi never taken in the Civil War. A Battle of Natural Bridge was just south of here. Tallahasseans took part. Also, young boys from the seminary west on the hill, on Gallows Hill, took part. They had to go home at lunchtime and get written permission from their parents to fight in that war that afternoon. A lot of them died, and they are right there in those graves right there.
Cutting back through the downtown core, we're met by another surprise. This is Tallahassee's chain of parks, a beautiful swatch of green cut straight through the center of the city. Of course, these linear parks will lead you to some of Tallahassee's more modern attractions like the state capitol buildings or restaurants. But it's the more eclectic historical sites that make the city so memorable.